What's up, guys? Becca Means here. We got The Fosters, Season 2, Episode 10, Someone's Little Sister. Okay, so this episode starts off with Callie at her job when when Jack from Dawson's Creek, aka Robert Quinn. I just want to say that because I like Dawson's Creek. Robert Quinn comes and he's basically like he didn't want his mom. He want he she, she didn't want like Callie's mom to find out they show and now so he gives her and he says here. So then we see and then we see then we see like all of them together, Jude, Lena, and Callie. Callie officially announces that Robert has signed the adoption papers. That means Callie can get adopted. Yes, finally. But yeah, so they're all happy, and Brandon and Lou are in this song, and they're in this song called "We Survive," I think it's called. So yeah, I'll just say that, and then I'll look it up after. So yeah, so Lou has to leave practice one day when she, has to go because she got a date. So Matt's like, "Hey, Lou has Lou, Lou has Lou has history of dating people in the band, and they didn't go well. So Brandon decides to be an ass and changes the song to fit her decides to be an ass and changes the song to fit to reveling her. And she was like, did Matt? Yeah, this is after. I'm just gonna explain it here. She's like, did Matt tell you he had history in the dating people? And he's like, yeah, you just gotta be careful. And she was like, the first guy turned out to be a cokehead, and the other one was a crazy Joe freak. And he's like, neither do you, so what's the issue? And they kiss, becoming Boo, or Brew, I don't know what to call them. I'll be calling them Boo for this review. So yeah, so Boo is finally a thing, and yeah, so yeah. So Robert Quinn decides to hold a fundraiser for Girls United, and yeah, and that means so Callie decides to sleep over at Sophia's house. So we meet the new principal in this episode named Monty Porter, and Jude. Yeah, meets the new principal named Monty Porter, and Jude's basically he's talking about Connor, and Connor's dad basically yells at her. He said that he was spanking his son, and he ran away from it into a door jam. I'm gonna throw for Connor, but yeah, he was spanking Connor, and yeah, so basically so Leah calls him a bully, and yeah, but he says that that's the rule for his thing for his son, and it's all her fault, Leah's fault, and Leah's like her fault, and she's like, you allowed our kids to spend the night in tent together without her permission, without his permission, and she's basically like, wait, what? And she's like, her son's gay, and she's like, she's not gay, and you're basically a bully, Mr. Stevens. So yeah, so after so Monty, I'm gonna call him Monty Porter is like as the new principal. Monty Porter is like as lean as as a parent, as a parent, Lena can fight against it, but as a vice principal, she's using her thing as a parent to rev- to revoke or recite or something, and, and she's like revoke. She's using her thing to attack. So yeah, so Lena basically quits her job. So yeah, so Steph for some reason is against it, and she's like, maybe Connor and Jude shouldn't be friends, and she's like, why are you saying that? And she's like, what if this is another person in school? And she was like, Connor's dad wins and Connor suffers. And she's like, how's the new principal? And she's like, more supportive than you, Steph, and leaves. So Connor, so yeah, so we get back to Sophia and Callie, and Sophia and Callie. So yeah, so Mariana discovers. Actually, we'll talk about the Mariana. He's just stuff now. Mariana discovers about Jesus' tattoo. And he's like, what do you want from him to keep it quiet? Go with her to meet Anna. And basically Mariana roasted Anna. She roasted her. Anna said she's biggest of shame, getting high more than she loved Jesus and Mariana. She got that God gave her two moms that actually loved them. And yeah, and, and, and that Mariana's like, yeah, she feels nothing for Anna. When she looks at Anna, she feels nothing. She's not her mom. She's like a sad stranger walking out. Cold, Mariana. That was cold to your mom. And Jesus basically confronts her, and she's like, "Don't do it." Every time this would happen, even when she's Mariana with kids, Mariana would get mad for her going out and buying drugs, but Jesus would always be there to comfort her. And she's like, "It wasn't your job then, and it wasn't your job now." It's kind of sad. It makes me feel bad for Anna and Mariana. So Mariana is like, why couldn't she come? Why did she have to come from Anna? Why couldn't she come from Lena? And yeah, so yeah, and Lena's like, after losing Frankie, it made her realize after losing Frankie, and it made her realize that she realized something that you may hold a baby for 9 months, but you hold your child in your heart forever, and Mariana's like, can you help her with something? So then Lena tells Steph that she quit her job, and yeah. So what does Mariana help with? Changing her back to black or brown. They call it brown. They even call Mariana's hair brunette in this episode when it's blonde. This show does not know anything about coloring. Mariana's hair was blonde, not brunette. Do you know what brunette is, Foster? Do you know what that color is? Because you do not know what brunette and blonde means. They call her hair brown in the first. They call her hair brown. Mariana calls it blonde. They're calling it brunette. Mariana calls it blonde. It's just like I like Mariana's black hair. They call it black. I call it black. Mariana calls it brown. Sarah calls it brown. I'm glad she changed it back. She changed it back to the original hair color she had in season 1. But just like the Fosters does not know about coloring because if they colors of hair. Because if they did, they'd be called Mariana's hair brown and they'd be called Mariana's hair brunette, blonde and black, not brown and brunette. That doesn't make any sense. But anyway, Matt and Mariana pretend to not know each other, and he's like, I know you. I know a girl that looks exactly like you. And she's like, yeah, she's pretty. And before they can kiss, he gets called out to someone's little sister, and they basically sing the song that Brandon and Lou sang called "We Survive." And then after they sing "Tomorrow's Never Gone." Tomorrow's never gone. And yeah, so then Callie comes out, and Callie basically says, "Thank you to So Callie and Rio were talking, and Callie mentioned how she didn't want anything from Robert. Robert wasn't gonna sign anything, and Callie's like, "Do you really don't really like? Do you want anything?" He's feeling like he's a real father, and he wants to get to know you better. Do you really want to get to know him? So Callie basically calls him her father, calls Sophia her sister, and Sophia's like, yeah, so Sophia's like, hey, she's getting dumped by the Fosters, but Sophia's like, hold up, no you're not, because she's like, her dad signed the papers, but they never got sent, because she ripped them up. Sophia, you did this to yourself. Because Callie's like, the Fosters are her family, and then Sophia's like, why did you say that they are? And yeah, why did you just say that they are? And yeah, and Callie's like, I can't blame her. She's got too much attached to you, and she's like. And Callie's like, when are new assignment of the papers coming? When Robert reveals that he's not gonna bring in new papers, he can't sign them. He loves her, and Callie's like, I don't love you, Robert. I'm never gonna call you my father again. And he's like, I just wanted you to be happy. And Callie's like, I'll never be happy. I'm never gonna be happy, and walks out. And Brandon has a tendency, he runs after Callie for some reason because every time Callie's in trouble, he runs after Callie because, yeah. So because Callie's like, they can never make Robert's never gonna sign the papers, it's meant to be, and Callie's like, and Brandon's like, they can't make you live with them. And yeah, so she's like, I gave so much to be, what was the point? She gave so much to be adopted, and she and Brandon kiss. Ending the episode. After I mentioned that Jude mentioned, he said, did you quit your job because of him? And she's like, I care about you more than keeping her job. And he's like, you shouldn't. They did do something on the camping trip that was wrong. He and Connor have this sort of secret that he didn't tell her mom what they did. It's kind of like, what did they do? What did Connor do? Basically, that wraps up the story. And Haley Hines wanted Jesus to blow off the girl's yanks and take care of her. Another thing, and Jesus basically does. And they think he basically is like, he's got to take care of himself, which is kind of like, yeah, Haley Hines, you're suspecting Jesus to blow off a family event to take care of you? Like, Haley Hines, as I've been saying, she's the worst girlfriend. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. Too bad, and something happened with Sophia, because she closed the door, like, slowly. So, yeah. Basically, Callie and Brandon kissed. I don't think it's gonna be forever, unless they get back together. I don't think it's gonna be because Brandon and Luke kissed. Boo is gonna be a thing. I think either Brandon does get back together with Callie, or he leaves Callie for Lou. I don't know. Or he doesn't get together with Callie because he loves Lou. I don't know. Lena quit her job because of Connor and Connor's dad and all that debacle. And yeah. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and give everyone a beautiful night. And I'll see you next, the Fosters.